We're here with the Lease It or List It podcast. This week we're bringing in some of our key vendors, and the first one we're going to be talking to Roy Cook with No Sweat. Give us a little intro about you and your company.
Well, my wife and I own No Sweat Experts. We've been in business coming up on 7 years now. Small family-owned company. We have, I believe, 6 technicians now, and we are focused on giving customers what they need. We're not a sales organization company. We like to repair systems and keep them running as long as possible.
Yeah, y'all have done a great job for us. I mean, we've been doing it 4 or 5 years probably. I guess what are what's your area that you cover?
We cover all of DFW and Austin as well.
We're talking rental properties here. It really doesn't really depend. Your services, they go whether it's a rental or you're buying a house for yourself. What are the key things that you got to focus on when you're what would you like to tell investors? Hey, I'm buying a house. These are the things you need to look at when I'm buying a house.
Really, with the AC, if it's new, great. If it's older, you really want to look at the age.
What's considered new? What?
2 or 3 years or
Okay.
5 years still within warranty. We like to see them last 15 to 18 years. It doesn't always happen on rental properties because they're not as well maintained by tenants all the time. But if it's getting close to that 15 to 18 year mark, you do want to come in there knowing that you need to budget for a new AC in the near future.
So now if you got one of these old units, doing repairs on them, it's harder because you got the refrigerant issues, changeover. You can't, the older units, it's harder to maintain those, right?
It is, yes. The R22, that phased out in around 2014 when they stopped manufacturing units that use R22. So those are 10, 11, 12 years old now at the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And they switched again from R410 to, they call them A2L refrigerants. They are slightly flammable refrigerants, and they require different setup on the equipment. And when they made that switch, they stopped manufacturing certain repair parts for the R22 systems. So you've got about a 10-year period with R410. We can still go back and get parts for those pretty readily. But on the R22, a lot of things aren't manufactured anymore.
Now you can't, it's just not a drop and replace. You can't suck out all the R22 and put in new refrigerant. It's new equipment also.
Yeah, there's some pieces in the unit called a TXV or a piston that's got a certain size hole in it. And that hole has to be matched to the refrigerant. And I think the manufacturing companies realize they'd rather sell new systems instead of creating these parts to convert systems. So it's really hard to find certain things for the R22. The electrical components, the compressors, control boards, switches, sensors, things like that are still pretty readily available. But coils but indoor and outdoor coils are becoming obsolete very quickly.
Yep. Tell me, I got a house. I'm new to you. I don't know who you are or anything. Give me a sales pitch on what are the maintenance type issues that you got to deal with.
2 real important things: change your filters and make sure your outdoor unit is clean. I think the filters is a pretty easy explanation. The outdoor unit can get clogged up with dirt and debris from the yard and just dust in the air outside, and it makes the system overwork to cool the house, which takes years off the life of the system because it's working twice as hard as it should be.
Now, you can just go to your home Home Depot or whoever and buy a filter,
Yeah.
but you got to buy the right kind of filter. I know they got different MERV levels. Kind of explain. There's a lot of people that don't understand that some type of filters it's to keep large bugs and animals out of the system, but they don't do particles. And then if you get a different type of MERV level, you're sucking everything out of the air. So you got to get the right.
Yes. Generally, they range from MERV 8 to MERV 13. You really, in most situations, you don't want to go above 10 because it starts to restrict the airflow.
Which makes your unit work harder.
Yes, it can. If your system has to pull that air too hard, it can burn up your blower motor. But the purpose of the filter is to keep the unit clean. It's not to clean the air in the home. If there's some reason you need clean air in the home for allergies, asthma,
Air purifier.
Yeah. There's different products you want to get to accomplish that don't restrict the airflow.
Where are the filters?
It can be in one of two places. Either first, it'll be on the system where the air intake is. So if it's in a closet, it'll be on the bottom. If it's in the attic, it'll be on one end or the other. Other times,
So you had a return air. It's got knobs on it or latches where you can open it up and pull the filter out.
Yes.
Yes.
Other times it'll be in the return vent. So you may have a vent in your ceiling with some little tabs on it that holds a filter in the vent. One thing you want to be careful of is you don't want a filter in the vent and one at the system. That restricts airflow pretty severely. So you need it in one place or the other, but not both.
Now the ones in the system, that means you got to go up in the attic. And
yes.
there's a filter door on the side of the unit. Usually it's labeled so you can see it. And you open that up and then you'll slide the filter in and out of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Reason I'm asking is because we got a lot of people that they've never changed the filter. And we had one property where I had to physically get a broom handle and go in and pull the filter out of the air duct because it got sucked in. There was so much dust in it.
Yeah.
And he wondered why his kid was having asthma problems. But anyway, that's an old story. So what other maintenance? I know we have issues. It's either filters, it's drain pans clogging up, or drain lines clogging up, or units burning out when they're first getting used. When the season changes.
Yeah, so we have a maintenance plan where we come out twice a year. In the fall, we do a heating check, and in the spring, we do a cooling check. And on both of those visits, we replace the air filter. If you're on our maintenance plan, we also drop off a second filter for you to change 3 months later in between the visits. And then we go through and we check all the electrical components on the system, make sure everything is operating within the manufacturer's specifications on how many amps it pulls. We test the capacitors to make sure they're not starting to get weak. On the heating side, we check the flame sensor, make sure it's clean. Just check the operations of the furnace so when it does cool off, the furnace is operational and ready to go. Same thing in the springtime. We check the refrigerant levels, and a lot of little things like that we check and can fix. You're spending a little money now to fix it and get everything just right, but those little differences can make the system have to work a lot harder. If it's a half-pound low on refrigerant, it has to work quite a bit harder to cool the home, and you're spending a little now to add years to the end of the life of the system.
In the long run, it's a lot better for the system.
Yes.
It's going to last longer, so you don't have to replace it.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win. What about thermostats? We got here lately, the last couple months, we've had a rash of thermostats either going out or they're not holding temperature and they're fluctuating in the house. Tell us about that.
There's a lot of choices on thermostats, everything from the $25 Home Depot version The most common one that we use is a Honeywell, either a T4 or T6. It's just kind of a solid workhorse. We rarely have problems with those. It's just a basic programmable thermostat, and comes with a good warranty. I believe it's either 2 years or 5 years on it. But it's our cost on those is about $75-$80. So well-made thermostat, should last a long time. It's nothing fancy. Kind of beyond that, you have your smart thermostats, your Ecobee, Nest. And I know Nest is very popular, but that is the one thermostat we have the most problems with. They just seem to stop working quite often.
They seem to be an issue with our tenants that do have Nest, where they inherited the Nest with the house when they moved in, and they don't have. It's not easy for them to work.
Yeah, I mean they look really cool. They have a lot of functionality, and when they work, they're great. But a similar thermostat that we use instead of the Nest is the Ecobee. We have very rarely had problems with that.
When life hits hard, late payments, medical bills, job loss, or even the need to move quickly, many homeowners feel trapped. The fastest way out seems to be selling to a cash investor, but that means giving your home away for pennies on the dollar. You don't have to do that. Nearly half of homeowners today are equity rich, and that value belongs to you. With our One Move program, you can unlock that equity immediately, get cash in hand now, and still share in the upside when your home resells. Or, if you'd rather, we'll shop your property to multiple cash buyers so you can choose the best offer instead of settling for one low bid. Go to donedealoffers.com and discover the smarter way to get cash fast without losing the equity you've worked so hard to build.
Hello, my name is Greg Batchelor with Real Property Management, and I'm here to talk to you about your rental property. Choosing a property management company can be challenging, and here's why. On the outside, it appears everyone is providing the same services, which makes it difficult to narrow down which companies you'll actually call. Interviewing companies over the phone and in person takes hours, as does following up on references, pouring through lengthy contracts and legal documents, and getting answers to your follow-up questions. As you can see, this process can be daunting and time-consuming. So here's a few questions you might consider if you're planning on interviewing other management companies. Number one, what fees are charged to lease and manage your home, and are there any hidden fees in the contracts? Number two, how many homes and what types of properties do they manage? Number three, how many homes do they lease per month, and what are their average days on market? And number four, how quickly do they get your monthly rental proceeds to you? Homeowners have been asking us these questions for years, and that's why we manage tens of thousands of rental properties nationwide. As our clients can affirm, we eliminate the headaches, hassles, and challenges of being a landlord. So you now have a choice to make. You can spin your wheels, interviewing, researching, and pouring through hundreds of pages of legal documents with several companies, or you can hire the done-for-you, no headaches, no hassles, guaranteed services of Real Property Management. We know how stressful leasing and managing a home can be, and we know it takes a large, dedicated staff to manage your home effectively. We currently have tens of thousands of property owners who rest easy every night, knowing their properties are being professionally managed 24/7, 365 days a year. We have a customized plan to lease and manage your home. No trial and error, let's see how it goes attitude here. We will get your home leased quickly to qualified tenants and get the money to you in a timely fashion every month with the most accountable tracking system in the industry. We wouldn't have the client base that we do if we didn't deliver on our promises day in and day out. There are two ways to get in contact with us for your free, no obligation, in-home consultation to let you know what your property will rent for. Fill out the contact information form on this website and we'll call you back shortly, or just give us a call.
I mean, I think one thing that our company's focused on that I mentioned a little bit is we fix air conditioners instead of trying to sell them all the time. Uh, I would say probably at least three-quarters of the jobs we go out on is a second opinion where they were told they needed a new system. We fix it for a few $100s. It's typically a small problem. The HVAC industry is dirty, and homeowners don't know the details of how their system works, and they can be fooled pretty easily into
Taken
spending
advantage of.
a whole lot more money than they have
Yep.
to. One other thing that we see a lot of is duct cleaning. Customers want to get their ducts cleaned. Unless you have metal ducts, it's never a good idea. Because all of the methods that they use to clean ducts can damage your ductwork, cause it to crack. If there's some debris in there, that debris can slice the ducts open, and all you end up doing is causing a bunch of leaks in your ductwork, and that leads to bigger problems, more serious problems.
Right. Another one of the issues that we face all the time is either drain pan or drain line issues. Either the drain pan rusts out or the drain line gets clogged. And when that happens, typically we get a rain waterfall coming down through the ceiling because the drain line's clogged up and there's nowhere where the condensation can go. How do you deal with that?
Well, if you're on our maintenance plan, when we come out twice a year, we put drain tablets in there that kill that line stays wet all the time. Mold, mildew, bacteria, whatever grows in that line and eventually clogs it up.
Those like chlorine tablets?
Yeah, so we, on our maintenance visits, we put a chlorine tablet in the drain lines to kill that and help keep it open. There's unfortunately nothing that guarantees it's going to work all the time, but the bleach tablets certainly help prevent it. The other thing we try to do is make sure there's a float switch on every system. So when the water starts to back up in that drain line, the float switch engages and shuts the system off before it can become a real problem.
Right. Tell the audience what is the purpose of a drain pan.
So
a lot of people don't even know that their unit has a drain pan.
Yeah, so there's two drains connected to your system. There's your main drain, which is typically connected to a sink in the house. And when your AC is running, the water should be directed to the sink drain, and you never know it's there, you never know what's happening. But when that drain gets clogged up, water will back up into the system and overflow out of the edges, and that goes into the emergency drain line. That drain line can drip into the pan, or water will just leak out of the unit into the pan, and there's a second drain line attached to that pan that goes outside, and you'll see water dripping outside. They usually try to put it in front of a window so you can see it, but if you ever see water dripping outside from your air conditioner, you have a problem, and you need to get that main drain line cleared out. Because like I said, if that drain pan is rusty or begins to leak after it's had water in it for a while, that can come through your ceiling. It can also, if those drain pans fill up, I've seen them buckle under the weight of the water and dump out 10 gallons of water all at once. And a lot of times too, if water's backing up in the system, it can blow out of the system into the ductwork a little bit, where when it starts to drip, it misses the pan completely. So you do want to make sure that main drain line's clear, and if you ever see water dripping out of your house, you want to address it sooner rather than later, before it becomes a bigger issue.
Why is that water being created? What, to the non-techies, what's happening in their air conditioner unit that's creating water?
The air conditioner has a coil in there that gets really cold. That's what cools the air. And like a cold glass of water, when it's sitting in a room, water condenses on it. And the same way, the water is condensing on your coil in the air conditioner and dripping into a collection pan in there that's directed to the drain line.
Yep.
I think a typical air conditioner in Texas can make 20 to 30 gallons of water a day. So it's a significant amount of water if it does start to leak.
We had one just a couple weeks ago that it was like pouring out a glass of water. And it was how can it be producing that much water or condensation, but it was doing it.
We had a customer that water was leaking out of the corner of the drain pan because it was full, and they took a cooler up and put it in their attic to catch that water, and didn't do anything for a couple of days, and the cooler got so heavy they had it sitting between rafters, so it was sitting on the sheetrock.
Came down.
It had 10 or 20 or 30 gallons of water in it, came through the ceiling, landed on their stairs, shattered the cooler, shattered their stairs, and dumped all that water all over the floor.
Yep. That's probably a wrap for us. If you have any HVAC issues, give Roy a call. Your information is going to be at the bottom of the screen.